In this video, I'm making my ABS Journeyman Smith presentation knife number 3. It's a fighter. I am using 5160 steel here. It's like the spring steel, like what's in your cars, only this is certified steel. It is not junkyard steel. This comes with a pedigree, and that means it's just really clean inside. And there's no really rare chance of any slag inclusions, any imperfections in the steel. Anyway, the judges require me to use a single carbon steel, no Damascus. So that's what we're using, and I am making this really nice looking little fighter here. I'm gonna do some of this hard grinding before I do the heat treat, because the steel gets really hard later on, and some of that's just easier to do now while the steel's still soft and malleable. Get a real nice smooth rake on that clip area. Nice smooth transition all the way out to the tip. And I got a scribe line that I'm looking very closely at so I can get a really smooth edge of the blade. This is the 120 grit slack belt and a couple rows of tape up on the spine. And you can see that makes a really nice convex with a slack belt. I go up the blade about 3/8 of an inch. Real fine line, you can barely see it. I just grind right up to it on both sides. That makes that plunge grind just perfectly parallel on both sides. Putting this grind in here on the relief at the ricasso for the guard, making the guard fit. You see right at that spot there I just pointed to, I got my piece of guard material I want to use for this. I'm going to pre-shape it before I drill any holes in it. So I'll just heat it up with the torch and bend it here on the anvil. This is a piece of 416 stainless. I rough it out with a high-speed drill, then I'll use a carbide cutter and gently start easing into it till it fits onto the tang. We'll start filing on it and getting it fine-tuned. The guard goes up on it pretty good. Now I'm going to make it nice and smooth, all that transitions, because I'm going to start staying off this area now that I've got this clean, and I'm going to drive it onto that shoulder that we were milling on earlier. This is going to press fit right onto the handle. It takes several hours of handwork to get that guard to fit on. It's a lot of work back and forth. This is a piece of my custom copper alloy that I cast myself. I use it for a lot of fittings. And we have a roller here, which is really spectacular. So we can make wire, and we can make our pieces bigger, longer, wider. And it would make square, round, half round wire. It's pretty cool. I've got it held on here with some CA on the mill. That works really good until you heat it up too much and the CA will release. So keep your stuff sharp and just take your time, put some air on it, cool it down a little bit from time to time, and it'll be just fine. Everything's oversized at this point. The guard's oversized gently. The spacer's gently oversized, because we'll grind all that down later. Now I'm getting ready to start putting my handle on. I'm gonna cut a square hole with a round tool down through that tang. You gotta see how this comes out. It's pretty cool. We want this handle to fit on pretty snug, not jamming it on hard with the hammer. Gently tap it on with a leather mallet or something like that, or just gently take it off by hand. And you see I got more layout lines. You can't go wrong with them. We drive down the highways with them. We use them here making knives too. I use a lot of them. So when I temper this back to a beautiful bluish purple hue, it's going to make this super tough. It's still high carbon. It's still got a pretty high Rockwell, but it does magic to the steel and it just makes it super tough. This is a piece of, I believe this is ebony. There's my custom copper alloy spacer. We're going to start working that little guy. Got more scribe lines on there we're following. I did this underneath a magnifier. It's where we do our engraving. It's a real small, delicate, just really beautiful looking filework. All the fittings are looking good. The handle's fitting. Now I got everything where I know it's going to be. So I'm going to put my maker's mark on the ricasso. So everything's laid out good, and we're going to put it right in the center. It's a little complicated than a straight clip. This has got a belly in the clip. You can see the black electrical tape on the ricasso area. I want to keep that protected. All right, the clip is roughed in. Now I'm just going to fine tune it with some diamond hones. They're spectacular for this.
What a surprise! Oh my goodness! Thank you! I didn't even know you were coming. Thank you! Bobby, happy birthday, Poppy. Oh, thank you! Thank you!
Where's Rosie?
You came today.
That's Joshua's kids. They come over once every couple weeks. I got 9 granddaughters. Well, 8 granddaughters. I'm not sure what the next one is because it's still cooking. I got my blade up to a straight 600 grit scratch. It's a West System marine grade epoxy. It's pretty tough stuff. Now that the handle's glued up the next day, I'm getting ready to put the pin in. There is a piece of bronze that I inserted into the tang at this particular location. I've got these little gauges I put on here to make sure I grind it to the same depth on both sides. Cover everything up, make sure nothing gets touched, damaged, or breathed on, because this is a presentation knife also. I do this with all my client knives, but this one in particular, just keep it clean, keep it covered up. I'm spraying it down with a ram oil right there, getting it all cleaned up. This knife, it came out beautifully. This little fighter, it was just a fun build. It's got a lot of little fun little deals going on with it. The spacer, the raised clip, standstill guard, dome pin. It's a great profile, and it's very fast. It's light forward, and it's a light knife overall. This will wield very, very well. Enjoy the build. This is coming out really clean. It's got some really nice lines on it. If you didn't see the previous 2 knives I built for this testing, this ABS presentation testing, go check them out. They're right before this one. May the forge be with you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.